owning your own name, WWE still currently owns that, and they get a piece of any project that you're a part of.
Sure.
You okay with that, or do you like one day? Because remember, they just gave DJ Dwayne Johnson. They just gave him the Rock. He has that now.
Yep.
Do you want that? You want that bestowed upon you?
No. So when you say that, like I believe context is very important in conversations. The WWE fair is an understatement. Generous would be a better scenario.
Okay.
I have such a trustworthy relationship with them over 2 decades.
Correct.
I am a champion of the brand. I love the company. It is my home. They are my family. Even after 2025, I've already signed an extension to remain a member of the WWE family for the near, mid, and long-term future.
Gotcha.
I don't think there'll be a beat of my heart where WWE blood doesn't come out of.
Mm-hmm.
That said, without them, I don't exist. And I fell into a weird scenario where for a hot second, people were using their real names. Nowadays, people have real sounding names, but it's not their real name, so they can own their real name. So I fell into a weird scenario, and WWE recognizes that. They're very focused on intellectual property, as they should be.
Right.
If I make a song and somebody wants to use The Time Is Now on their commercial and they just steal it, well, that's not exactly fair.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge conversation in the movie business about artificial intelligence. If someone scans me, takes my face, and makes 200 movies in their own accord without giving me anything, I don't know how fair that is.
Mm-hmm.
So in the vision of fairness, whenever the WWE IP is approached, they have to be cut in on the deal. And that's not them going, that's me going, hey, I'm doing this. Let's work out the business.
Okay.
A wise man once said to me, making money is the toughest part. Dividing it, that's easy. Making it's real tough.
Mm-hmm.
So I always operate under that construct. WWE has been, and this since the start of my contract, they've never tried to change my name, even when they realized they made a mistake. Like, they never tried to alter my being or character. They've always given me freedom to do what I want because we trust each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not out to try to rob them of what they've earned. And again, they're not out to try to take what's not theirs. Everybody wants to play fair. And when I say fair, WWE's terms are generous.
Wow. You're big in the stock market. You like to invest. So what was some of the best advice that you've received and some of the best advice that you've given people to help them be able to do what you've done, John?
We're all over the map, and I love this. This is great. This is great. Don't spend beyond your means.
Okay.
I think that is important to...
Is that easier said than done?
Yes. Yes. Because of a lot of things, but I'll trim it. Okay. Make it easy. Don't spend what you don't have, and try to spend less than you have so you can save a little bit.
Okay.
Don't carry debt and I know that's not a universal thing, because there are many people who would advocate when the percentage of debt is low, carrying debt's good because I can beat the percentage in other investments.
Right.
I'm just afraid one day they're going to call the margin and I don't have the money.
Right.
So I tend to not want to owe anyone anything. That way all tabs are square at the end of the business day.
Correct.
Don't spend more than you have. Don't carry any bad debt. And be accountable. I think and know who you are. If you're someone who wants to get rich quick, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Understand the math behind that. Talk to a venture capitalist and ask them how many of their assets fail. A venture capitalist will invest in 400 companies, hoping one survives.
That's
There's
all they
yield
need.
from one. So if you're at home with your $100 and you want to get rich quick, you got to take that $100, somehow bet on 400 companies and hope one hits. But if you push it all into one, you are locked into that hook, line, and sinker. So I think know who you are as an investor. Mm-hmm. Dude, I try to be safe. My stuff is the most unsexy shit you'll ever talk about. And people always are like, man, this thing's going to smoke. It's going to be great. Good for you. Yeah. And I'm also okay with the success of others.
You good with T-bills, huh?
Man, I like this club. Can I get one of those fancy lockers here? This is a good, so know who you are.
Yeah.
And I think keeping up with the person next to you is a bad idea. Just always try to have a good balance sheet. Look at your books. Look at where you want to be. And look at what you spend, look at what you earn, look what you spend it on.
Right.
I think getting out of the habit of spending more than you make, that right there changes the dynamic of everything. If you have enough money to begin saving money, holy shit, you are beating the game. If you have no debt and can put money away, you're ahead.
What's John's best purchase and his worst purchase?
Worst purchase. Oof. Man, I made a ton of bad purchases. Bad purchases would have to be cars. A lot of bad cars. I have lost so much money on cars. And that's another thing. Be okay with your failures.
Right.
I love cars. It's a passion. I don't do it to make money. So I lose money on it because it's a passion.
Right.
I remember when I started making money, my worst purchase is because I didn't want a spring for a Lamborghini.
Right.
So I bought a fake one.
Oh my goodness. How do you buy a fake Lambo?
I found a way to do it.
So we had a Lambo body with a Ford engine?
A BMW V12. And I was like, yeah, this is like 2003. I found a company that would do it. They put a V12 in it. I'm like, man, it's the same thing. It looks pretty good. Like, it looks great. Yeah, I'll buy it. They tried to stiff me out of the car. I had to ask some friends who knew how to find things to go and find things. I then had to get a title for the car, of which I did. The car finally shows up after 2 years from me waiting. It doesn't go into gear. The motor is held together with the timing of 2 Chevy V6s, so everything's confused. Nothing runs. The car is not roadworthy. So I sent it to a shop. This is 2005. I just got the keys to that car a week ago.
What?
A week ago. I've sent it to 10 shops. I finally found somebody to do it. They did it tip to tail. And I will tell you, it looks great. But I can honestly say I have the cost, and the collectible Lamborghini market is thriving.
Right.
I have the cost of about a real roadster and a half into this kit car.
You could have just bought a brand new one.
I could have bought 2, sawed one in half, and this 1.5 cars. To be like, yeah, this is it. This is, yeah. But that was a lesson to be like, hey, if you take shortcuts, you're going to get what you pay for. Mm-hmm. So that was my takeaway from that. Right. And also, like, I don't regret it because I have a takeaway. Mm-hmm. And in the process, I met a whole lot of shady shop owners, which are great, which allows me to feel good about a good shop owner when I meet a good mechanic and someone who can do honest work. So there's a lot of good takeaways from that. But as far as like statistics, boy, I got my ass whipped on that. Best purchase? Shit, my wife's engagement ring. She said yes.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because you know we like to do something before 2 something.